Welcome back to Cheeky Mare Stitches 100 Days, 100 Blocks Challenge. We are starting block number 65. It is a 3 fabric block. Here's what it originally looked like with fabrics A, B, and C. This block can utilize 2 strip sets that are cut the same but with different fabrics. Here are my fabrics, fabric A, B, and C. My layout looks a little wonky. It's going to allow me to demonstrate my thought process a little bit, which might be interesting. So this fabric here, I did not have the right shape. I had enough fabric, but I did not have the right shape to make a strip set. So this is the recommended cutout piece, both of them. So when I'm looking for ways to strip set, I see where are there multiples of one fabric and one cut. So here's the right example. There are multiples of this dimension by this dimension in the same fabric. So then I look to see what's connected to them and if they're the same. So this one is connected and there are multiples of this fabric with this cut, and as well as this one. And then this would be how the strip set would look if I had the right shape of this fabric, but I wanted to use this fabric. So, and I made these a little oversized so that I could still kind of strip piece, but have enough to square up at the end. So if I had enough, this fabric here would be the same cut as this fabric here. And so now we'll strip set these together and then cut down the long ways, and then on both of these, and then just reorder them to create the layout. Okay, so here are the 2 different strip sets put together, and I lined up the same height fabrics so that you could see it instead of how it'll be in the layout. What I do is I look to see where the seams are, and then the measurement for the seams that could be a strip set. And then for however many I need of those, instead of cutting a long strip of the height and then subcutting it, I just don't subcut them until it is sewn together. And so these required 2 of this particular fabric. So for this one, as well as this one, so for this one, I just cut enough length, and then instead of going in and cutting the subcut as it's one long strip, let's see if I have a strip here. So this was the piece of the scrap I used for this fabric. And here is the first cut that I made off of it. Pretend that I've already made my subcut. So, but pretend it's the same overall length. You know, so it's this wide, and I folded it in half to make it easier to cut with my rotary cutter. And then I had this piece, and I cut the width, or in this case, so it's like this. So this was the first cut I made for the height of, given the height measurement of this particular fabric. And then instead of having a big long strip and subcutting them into individual squares, I just added the squares together for that overall length. And cut a piece. Sometimes I cut it a little bigger so that I have some wiggle room in case I make a cutting error. But, and then for this case, I made it a little bigger because I wanted that gap to be visible so we could talk about this, have this particular conversation. Now I can just cut this whole strip piece down the center and down both sides of this, and I will have subcut everything in one go instead of before, if that makes any sense. Put in the comments below if you'd like me to do a video with a more in-depth explanation, possibly with graph paper. So here's the layout. Now we just need to sew the columns together. There is block number 65 done. Join me tomorrow for block number 66.